Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back. We are back and we are black. What is going on? What is going on? Man. Let me fix this shit real quick. I'ma just fix it. There we go. But man, we are back. We are black. Oh man, we are in this bitch. We're in this piece. We are whatever you want to call it. This is the No, I Don't Know podcast. I changed that motherfucking name. Fuck the damn knowledge is free. Shit, that shit ain't free. You gotta pay for internet, motherfucker. You gotta pay for a cell phone. So this is free. No, I don't know, motherfucker. But anyway, I'm gonna get right into it. Did Jesus come back today? Oh, damn. He didn't come back? Oh, y'all mean to tell me all that speaking in tongue and all that that shit, he ain't come back? Oh, damn. Oh, that's fucked up, man. I feel bad for y'all. Well, I'll pray for y'all and continue to pray for y'all. Oh, how was y'all day today? I know a lot of people done went to church, thought Jesus was going to appear and he was going to walk all the way from Nazareth or where the so-called Bible said he came from. Oh, man, I think that's hilarious. But anyway, what y'all do at church today? Let me guess what y'all did. Had the little praise and worship. Motherfuckers was up there lying, pretending like they care about everybody and care about the Lord. And knowing good goddamn well they was on the dance floor probably dry fucking the whole goddamn time at the club the night before. Or a lot of motherfuckers was drinking. A lot of motherfuckers was probably at the pool hall being a pool shark. and some of y'all was just straight out there selling pussy. Now I know that's what some of y'all was doing. Y'all already know. I know what y'all doing. Then y'all get to church and have a silent pussy auction. Let me get 55 for that pussy. Yeah, 55 for that. Yeah, let me get 55 for 45. Yeah, let me get 45 for that pussy. Yeah, that shit. But yeah, then you come home from church and get to cussing everybody out. I know how that shit go. You saved and sanctified when you at church, but as soon as you get in that car, you listening to Sugar Free. Baby, why you bullshitting type shit? I know what y'all niggas is doing. But anyway, now that we got that shit out the way, we done figured out that Jesus ain't coming back. You are listening to the No, I Don't Know podcast. Hey, if you listening on SoundCloud, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If you listening, or watching this shit on YouTube, whenever you get a chance to watch it, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm a little early today, man. I felt like I'd be early and be on time, but not at all. Everybody that's been listening and subscribing, I appreciate it. I've been getting some feedback. One lady, she left a paragraph, but she was on some Illuminati type shit, just from a different perspective. I didn't delete the comment. I didn't go in on her. I just said facts. She had a lot of little comments about, you know, the killings and shit that happened to Willie McCoy. And R.I.P. to Willie McCoy again. And much love and prayers go out to his family. I'm always remember that. And for all y'all that don't know, Willie McCoy was the kid that was 20 years old who was on a little concert tour with his family rapping. He fell asleep with a gun on his lap in his car, and they shot him like 20 times. So yeah, that's what the police do. But yeah, man, you know, my day is always great. You know, weekends, you try to reflect from not being at the slave plantation, the corporate plantation. So, you know, you try to enjoy that time. But that is Saturday and Sunday is fucked up because that shit go by fast as fuck. But when you be at work, you be like, God damn, when is this shit gonna be over? But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about some shit, and let's just get into it. Man, that system finally, look, the system finally caught you. And let me tell you why. Harvey Weinstein. Now, you remember, I think there was a thing that was released that he said, if I go down, I'm taking everybody down with me. So now they're going to have all these sacrificial lambs. And if y'all notice, the system of white supremacy, they going to sacrifice us before anything else. And it comes in threes. So you got Bill Cosby was the first one because he was trying to buy NBC. So they got Bill Cosby. No evidence pointing to Bill Cosby, but guilty, nigga. Ain't no more putting pots for your ass. Guilty. And no more Jello either, nigga. But anyway, they got that nigga. And then next was R.Kelly. And then they want to fuck with Michael Jackson so bad, but Michael Jackson's paper was so long and Michael Jackson was so clean, they couldn't fuck with him. They wanted to, because he called out the system of white supremacy too. Oh, they wanted to fuck with Mike real bad. That's why they was throwing them fucking pedophile charges at him. But let me tell you something, and this is what I know to be true from my perspective of even watching how Michael Jackson moved. Man, that shit would have been came out. He black. As soon as he called out Tommy Mottola about being racist and shit, you don't think that system of white supremacy would have been sending shit at him? They did. So, of course. So now you got R. Kelly. And then you got Robert Kraft. The difference between R. Kelly and Robert Kraft is this. Robert Kraft is a billionaire who just happened to win the championship. Now, we gonna watch this case very closely. And the reason why I'm gonna watch it very closely is because of this. When you're a billionaire and you're a Caucasian billionaire in the system of Caucasian supremacy, who's holding the accountable? Now, we're expecting this system to hold Robert Kraft, who was cheating in the NFL this whole fucking time, him and Tom Brady, recording practices, deflating balls, doing all kinds of fuckery shit. You can say you have no knowledge of it, you can say you don't care, but it's your organization. Because let me tell you something, let's flip it. If you go to that corporate plantation and you fuck up on their time, they're gonna consider you a representation of their organization while they're paying you for their services. So then that's how they get you. So since this shit was taking place during football season and during football times, yeah, it's part of your organization, Robert Kraft. So yeah, they was cheating. But I'll do you one even better. Not only was the team cheating to win those championships, you know, everybody just act like it was normal. Everybody act like it was normal. That's a fact. And now you have Robert Kraft that was a part of a prostitution ring in Florida or wherever the fuck it is. We gonna see what happened. We gonna see what happens when we go to trial. I bet you anything that motherfucker get community service. When you're a billionaire, you could keep throwing money at that shit. Unless they're sacrificing him for something. They could be sacrificing him or say, hey, you know, we getting him because, nah, we don't need him doing prison reform. We don't need him doing these type of junctions, these joint ventures with Jay-Z. Who knows? I'm a free thinker. I like to think outside the box. There's a reason why they got him. Maybe they got him to kind of distract everybody from R. Kelly because they got R. Kelly. Now, let's go back. If you watch that License to Drive, I think it's Corey Haim or Corey Feldman. They were both friends, like best friends. They grew up in Hollywood. One of them was on The View, and then what they had a show. I don't know if it was on E or what, but on this show they was talking about how they were getting molested by Hollywood executives, white male men. That's who were molesting them and doing shit to them. And then they went on The View. Even said they went on CNN. I think it was Corey Haim or Corey Feldman. One of them killed himself. And said, and then the other one, I think Corey Feldman, I forgot, I get them confused, but he was just like, the problem is in Hollywood. But they go strategically find Aura. And you know why they got Aura? Because we agreed to do that goddamn documentary on R. Kelly and all this. See, this is why we need to start policing our own. But you know why we don't police our own? Money. That's why we don't police our own. Because we want the money. And then after the money run out, oh, guilty nigga. This nigga got to go. But as long as you get that money, ain't nobody saying nothing. Because there was a whole bunch of people that did songs for R. Kelly. There was a whole people that did it after. Okay, we can go with the Dame Dash shit. Oh, he said, my girl told me. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Your girl don't run you. You the man. Just take it on the chin and say, man, I did music with R. Kelly, and I regret doing that shit. And I wasn't really happy about it, but it was a business move, and I had to do what was best for my company. Don't try to put the shit on Jay-Z, nigga. Don't try to put the shit on anybody else. So I'm up here saying that you didn't, I don't want to hear all that, and I'm mad, but hey. But people kept doing business with him, though. That's the thing that tripped me out about. People kept doing business with R. Kelly. That's one, too. That record label never thought to drop him because they was making money off of him. They can't make no money off him. Okay, you drop, nigga. You out of here. Now y'all can throw all kinds of charges on this motherfucking do what the fuck y'all want to do. Why Harvey Weinstein is walking around smiling. Like, fuck you motherfuckers. I'm going to win this shit. I ain't going nowhere. And they got Harvey Weinstein on an undercover wiretap, damn near pressing the full court pressing the fuck out of this bitch for some pussy. But Bill Cosby is in prison for bitches lying and committing perjury on the stand and all this other shit. Man, let me tell you something. White is right, black is whack type shit when it comes to the system of white supremacy. Y'all need to understand what y'all battling against, and we gotta be on the code. That's why I always talk about this book. And I don't give a fuck how many times I show it. The Compensatory Code of Racist Ethics, or what is it called? The United Independent Compensatory Code, a compensatory counter-racist code. I call it the Compensatory Code of Racist Ethics. I'll call it shit like that. We gotta know. We gotta know about being on a fucking code. And the reason why is because it says so many things in that book. One of the things that it says in the beginning, not in the beginning, but like, I think it's, I don't know what chapter it is, but it talks about how when you're on the corporate plantation and how you have to be on code, and you have to know that you're not there to tell all your business as a black man or a black woman. You're not there to be emotional. You're there to do your job, and whatever person that's a part of that system wants to teach you, you let them teach you and you go about your way. Not to be smiling and buck dancing and going against the fellow nigga that you see because you view him as competition. See, that's the thing. We view each other as competition, and we view each other through a transactional point of view. We don't view each other through, hey man, I just want to support you. Don't nobody support motherfuckers on some real shit no more. That's why everybody going at R. Kelly. Not me though. I'ma still listen to Can I Get Up? Ooh, ooh. This the remix to Ignition. Oh well, fuck y'all niggas. I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like that shit, man. Fuck. It's all kinds of motherfuckers people listen to. Y'all know what the fuck these people doing. That's bullshit. And a lot of these parents knew that their kids was going into harm's way and was sending their kids anyway because they wanted money. Then you on the TV talking about, oh, we can't find our daughter they came home. Man, stop acting. And what trips me out a lot, Harvey Weinstein's still out. So they got R. Kelly thanks to us. All they need to do is do a documentary and put a motherfucker in it. No diss to Sparkle, but goddamn, that was 20 years ago, Sparkle. You gotta let that alone. Unless it's your niece that's coming out and want to say something, you gotta leave that be, man. And just let it go. Now get it. The nigga pissed you off. He did a lot of shit that you didn't like. But you sometimes, it's about holding the line. It's about having internal justice, disciplining within our own. No, what we do is we air each other out to the system, and then when the system does what the system does to us, then some of us feel bad. And then we have people that fight other causes. That's why I'm saying Robert Kraft ain't paying look, he ain't about to do no time, and he ain't paying no attention to these bullshit charges. That nigga got publicists and attorneys, and man, they probably already working on the case. And when you got that loan money, they'll just keep holding, pushing it back. You know, there's just certain things I was like, God damn, man, like we don't understand. But we took pleasure. Don't we take pleasure in going at each other? Like I said before, boy, Charlamagne the guy had a lot of energy when he was going at Monique. Why don't you have that same energy at Hillary Clinton? And Hillary Clinton, it's on record that this bitch was the architect behind the crime bill. But you ain't go at her, but you couldn't wait to go at Monique. Cause this ain't the black game, this ain't the white game, this the money game, Mo. Man, get the fuck out of here. Translation, hey nigga, you wanna make some money? You just better be quiet, do your job. Man, that's some buck dancing coon shit. Steve Harvey suffers from Samboism. He needs to go to Coons Anonymous. And I know he done drank a Sambo smoothie. I know he has. He had to. And getting some motherfucking coon IV injections. He's gotta be. And taking his coon vitamins and shit. He has to be. Because there's no way you would do that. You doing that because you're pandering and catering to the system's audience. And you know they watching it like, okay, yeah, be a good little nigga. I've seen that too many times. I've had niggas do that shit to me at the corporate plantation. They got their asses checked. They went away right and good until the Caucasians get around and they want to start talking shit to you or trying to put you on blast in front of everybody. I ain't with that shit at all. At all. And another thing this book talks about, and I always talk about it, is how when white people argue, he likens it to this. When two slave masters argue, they're not arguing about replacing the system of white supremacy. They're arguing that, look, I was dying laughing when I read that book. When I was reading this shit, I had to put it down and start laughing. Because in your head, you be like, oh shit, this nigga ain't lying. He was like, this nigga was like, Neely Fuller says, when two slave masters are arguing on the plantation, please believe me, they're not arguing about replacing the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. They arguing about some other shit. So don't get involved in their arguments. And that's a fact, because when you at the corporate plantation, you see two white people arguing, just let them argue. And then they'll be faking phony and be smiling with each other in the next 10 minutes. Because that's how they're programmed. And then you all hyped up over nothing. Shout out to hey man, shout out to the chat. What's up, Tommy? Man, what's happening with it? Man, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, man, it's usually other people in the chat room, too. But I'm early. Usually I don't start. For all y'all that's listening on SoundCloud, when you do listen, I'll be talking to the chat room. Anybody that want to be on the chat, you can be on that motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I'll read whatever you say. I don't give a fuck. But I'm just telling you, man, it's the truth. Nigga, I was rolling when I read that shit. Because you don't know how many times I done been on the corporate plantation and done seen Caucasians arguing, and you think because they arguing, I guess for you think like, oh, okay, cool. But man, that shit is theater. They not replacing the system of white supremacy, so just let them argue. Step back, let them argue, and act like you don't give a fuck. Because let me tell you something, while we was up there going, put R.KELLY in prison and all this other shit, you got Harvey Weinstein around laughing at everybody. That's one. And that's what really made me laugh. You got him laughing at everybody. Then you got motherfuckers like Jesse Smollett's moist clown ass, who's making up stories because he want to make more money on a sitcom because the money he was making wasn't enough. Clown. You don't know how to brand and market yourself? Clown, if you on TV, you don't have access to producers? You don't have access? Hey man, I'm working on an album. You could go on Instagram and do that and start making your own shit. Do your own tour. No, you know why? Because that motherfucker felt like, fuck that. I'm finna come up with a bogus ass story so I can make more money. So while his clown ass out there lying, talking about the MAGA niggas, the MAGA dudes threw a noose around him, poured bleach on him, all this other shit. We got real issues going on. Real issues like Willie McCoy. Man, R.I.P. to Khalid Browder. That motherfucker was strong, man. He endured a lot of shit because of that fucked up, bogus ass system. The system of white supremacy. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all niggas get to quoting these clowns, the same people who wanted the system of white supremacy to be in place. That's why when motherfuckers get up and, oh, say, can you see? Clown. Francis Scott Keys is probably he's probably laughing like, look at these dumb niggers. They still singing my song. That's how good our system is. Don't nobody ever seem to question it. Go look up Francis Scott Keys and then after you go look him up and see what the fuck that nigga was on, then you're gonna be like, oh shit, we been singing this song all this time? Yeah, clown. That never make the light of day. Never. It'll never even be on TV. And I'm not mad at the Jews because, for one, the Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews is what they really are. I'm not mad at them because they have togetherness and they know exactly what works, and it's a system. So you don't, if you mess with one Jew, you messing with them all. But black people don't operate that way because we about getting money because we ain't never had it. So we don't know about having principles and morals and standards and integrity. And that's why I'm not mad at Monique. And what I don't like about Monique's situation too is this. Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, three of the most powerful black people to me in Hollywood, or as they would call it, Black Hollywood or whatever. And y'all all banned against Monique? Y'all ain't got nothing better to do? Because she didn't want to work for free? So let me just ask the audience, and y'all can leave the comments. Please leave the comments. Leave the comments. How many of y'all niggas would work for free? How many of y'all would work for free? Let's say y'all wrote something and then y'all gave it to a person that's on TV and is making a lot of fucking money, but they didn't only gave you $5,000. But you know this motherfucking movie, this shit that you wrote, this little short film that you wrote, it done made about $1.5 million. But they only paid you $5,000. And then they like, okay, well, we want you to brand it. But they only gave you $5,000 though. $5,000. But they want you to do a little press tour around the United States and they not gonna pay for it. You gotta pay for it yourself. Man, niggas would be like, fuck you, nigga. You got me fucked up. I'm not worth, first of all, you didn't even give me enough money. So you got me fucked up. You might catch a fade. That's how niggas be thinking. And that's a fact. But when it comes to Monique, I think the only thing that niggas disagree with Monique was this. Monique was on some, I want to boycott Netflix because they didn't want to pay, they only paid me $500,000. Monique would have been better off not disclosing how much money Netflix was trying to give her and just saying that they were racially discriminating against me. We would have stood with that and been like, okay, some people would probably watch Netflix, but some people probably wouldn't have. And let me just tell you, Netflix be having some bullshit on there too. All that shit on there ain't all that great. Some of the shit they be having is decent, but a lot of that shit be bullshit. Shit that shit have never made it. Amazon too. But sometimes it's a lot better than regular TV. Because regular TV ain't nothing but selling shit all day. They do 5 minutes of acting and then it's a commercial with them selling cars and In-N-Out and Wendy's and McDonald's and Jack in the Box. Like, God damn. Let me check. Like, I gotta read somebody in the chat. Tamisha says R. Kelly shouldn't go to prison though. He honestly should have went when he was dealing with Aaliyah. Thank you. But I heard her mama knew and got a piece of him too. I'll still listen to it. I'm a flirt. Me too. Look, let me tell you something. First of all, I think it was Barry Hankerson. I think either her uncle or her dad, I don't know, one of them. I think it was her uncle who was managing him. So they was around him. They probably just wasn't paying attention because of, you know, R. Kelly was probably a charmer. And oh, I got her and I got her. And that's how he worked on her because Aaliyah was around him since she was like 12. So by the time she was 14, she was probably well groomed on, okay, I want to fuck and, you know, okay, that's fine. But when the family found out, they could have pressed charges. They could have took him they could have handle that internally right then and there. But they didn't. And I get it. Because they was looking at Aaliyah's future, and she was able to be a fucking star. And niggas did forget about that R. Kelly shit. Like, I'll give Blackground Records and Aaliyah's family credit for that. Like, she played it so smooth. No, we weren't married. No, that's fake. Woo, woo. And you know, if you just keep not pandering to it, niggas forget about it. And niggas forgot, and she went on in the 90s to be a mega star. So I'll give them props for that. But since they didn't do nothing, and we continue to listen to the music, even though we knew that R. Kelly did that, because we all knew that shit happened in the 90s. Everybody, man, when they got married, the marriage certificate was everywhere. Every news outlet, every news media outlet, everywhere. So everybody knew, but didn't nobody care. Everybody was just kind of like, all right, well, because to us, we like, all right, well, whatever. Old motherfuckers be fucking with young bitches all the time anyway. Where the parents at? That's how I was looking at it. Like, well, damn, where her mom and at? I guess they ain't trip off of it, so fuck it, we finna move on. That's fine. But when it came to Sparkle, and she found out it was her niece, and that family didn't do nothing. Now that was the second time, and nobody did nothing. We should just leave it alone. Why are we revisiting it again for a third time? That was twice in the public eye that we saw what R. Kelly was doing, and nobody said shit. Now, y'all remember, after Aaliyah, drinks everywhere, party in the hills. Remember that song he had with Keith Murray? Banging. Then he had that one song with Fat Joe. Girl, I got He had that nice song with. He did so many songs with so many people. Then he did Shawnee Brown. What's going on with it? Shout out to Shawnee Brown as well. Tyrese and Shawnee Brown. Her family do not get props for renting their daughter. Holly weird. And that's a fact. But they didn't say nothing. So when they didn't say nothing, my first instinct was like, fuck it. I'm going to still keep listening to R. Kelly. I'm going to still keep listening to Aaliyah. And we'll just let it be the way it is. I'm not tripping off that. But by the time it got to Sparkle, and it was her niece, and the niece's dad, who played the bass for R. Kelly, wasn't saying shit, even though I know they saw the tape. They had to have saw the tape. I know they saw it. So once they saw the tape, come on, man. That family should have said, nah, nigga. And they from Chicago? They should have been like, nah, nigga, you going to jail. But you know how niggas are. Not Sparkle, but I'm pretty sure the rest of that family was like, fuck that. I ain't looking at the tape. I don't need to look at the tape. We getting this bread. Because you know what? We will compromise a lot of our integrity as black folk because we need bread. That's a fact. That is a fact, and we rest our souls on materials. I was. See, I'm gonna tell you about, man, in high school, gotta be Nautica, gotta be Polo, gotta be Tommy Hilfiger, like I said on a previous podcast. If you look at Tommy Hilfiger, he was very genius. Who did he have in Tommy Hilfiger? Aaliyah, Tyrese, Usher, Kidada Jones. It was all prominent black adolescents from probably like 15 to like 18, 19, Tyson Beckford. That's who Tommy Hilfiger went to go get to market to us. And that's why we started buying Tommy Hilfiger in Nautica, in Polo. And that's all I wanted. I'm only looking at the name tag because you think that's what gives you your confidence. That's what I used to think. I used to be a fucking clown. And shout out to the chat room. Salute, fam. I know you made it. I know, man. I was early today. I was trying to do it early because I was like, man, I ain't trying to do it too late. But I'm just saying, y'all have to understand, they strategically used, because Aaliyah was a mega star by that time. By the time she had met Timberland and Missy, and they came out with the 1 in a Million, which shot through the roof, and If Your Girl Only Knew, you don't think Tommy Hill was like, send her these clothes? Because she wasn't paying for that shit. Remember, Tyrese was banging when he first came out, when he was on that Coca-Cola commercial singing that song, looking like a fucking clown. But he wasn't looking like a clown, but I'm just saying, They marketed him. Usher was popping. Remember, Usher and Tyrese was in the same video together, My Way. Y'all gotta remember these things. So y'all gotta remember who was in our face a lot in the 90s. Monica, Brandy, and Aaliyah. And out of Monica, Brandy, and Aaliyah was really in our face by probably like 97, 96, 97. That's all you saw was her. And what was she wearing a lot of times? Tommy Hilfiger. And I just feel like if we didn't press the issue then and then we didn't press it with Sparkle, why are we doing that now? That's why I keep talking about it. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that now? Like, I don't understand that. But Robert Kraft was in there getting some pussy from one of them, do you want a massage, Robert Kraft? We got a massage for you. Oh, happy ending, Robert. Happy ending, Mr. Kraft. And that motherfucker probably was like, hell yeah, happy ending. You under arrest. Oh, shit. That motherfucker probably zipped his dick up. Oh, shit. And that's what happens. Niggas got, hey, man. Now, all that money, Robert Kraft, you can't just go on and mail order bride some pussy? God damn. All that money you got? Nigga, if I got billions of dollars, nigga, I'm ordering pussy from all over the globe. I ain't got time to be getting busted, and you got money. But I just look at it like, well, let's see how far Robert Kraft goes, because I don't think he's going to jail. Even though R. Kelly, he didn't even post bail. I think his bail was $100,000. R. Kelly ain't got no money. He was a genius, and there were a bunch of bloodsuckers around him, and they were like, we're going to drain this nigga for whatever we got, and whatever he wants, he'll get it as long as he makes money. That's the way it works, ladies and gentlemen, and that's how they treat us. That's why everybody's loving LeBron right now. And LeBron is a little bit smarter. He's like, I'm going to milk this until I can't milk it no more, because I think LeBron's trying to chase that billionaire status. So he's probably going to do shuck and jive and do certain things. You know, he had to apologize because 21 Savage had some lyrics in his song saying, I'm trying to get this Jewish money. And they got, hey, nigga, you can't say that. Clown. Anybody that don't know, the International Monetary, I think it's Financial Monetary Fund or whatever, the IMF, the International, I think it's International Monetary Fund or whatever, that's funded by the Jews. Y'all didn't know that? The Federal Reserve is funded by the 10 wealthiest families who just happen to be Jewish. And the biggest ones was Mayor M. Shell Rothschild. Come on, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, the DuPonts, the Morgans. Oh, like as in JP Morgan and Chase? Yes. Like as in when you open up the Monopoly board and you look and you see which character you gonna take and you can take Mr. Pennybags. Mr. Pennybags is JP Morgan. The Monopoly game was designed and it was crafted and replicated after the makers of the Federal Reserve. Remember that. And if not, vet me out, look it up. But we don't know that. I'm reading the chat room, 1 million bail for R. Kelly. Oh, so 1 million bail, so that means what, $100,000 for bond? He ain't got that type of money. That nigga still living in an apartment. And that's funny, but I'm just saying, you done wrote all those records and did all that shit. You know why? Because a little bit of money was good for him. Because I can look at R. Kelly and tell he was spending a lot of money on pussy. And maintaining this imagery, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But now, where's all these people at? Where's all these people that had R. Kelly's back and was doing music with him? They ghosts. You see, Jay-Z ain't commenting on it, and then Dame Dash comment, but Dame Dash, man, come on, man. You should have just been a man and been like, I shouldn't even done it. I don't care what my girl told me. I shouldn't have done that shit. And I should have told Jay, I ain't fucking with that. But you was in the video, though. A lot of people was in the videos with R. Kelly, man. Ain't no big deal. See, that's why I keep telling y'all about Nelly Fuller Jr.'s book. I keep telling y'all that there's a code. Let me see. The chat room, yes, and going to the hotels I can't afford, okay? He is a fly risk, so they won't lower it. Exactly. Because they know that nigga gonna probably go to Europe and never come back. He could probably, knowing a nigga like him, he'll probably go to like Cuba or some shit and seek asylum there, like Assad Shakur or some shit, and be like, fuck y'all niggas, and never come back. Because he know he going to prison, and he's not coming out. He's number 2. So who's going to be the 3rd mega black celebrity that they going to lock up? They locked up Bill. Heathcliff Huxtable. See? And let me get on him real quick. And that's what his clown ass get for talking, being very condescending towards black people. Black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and all that. Look, let me tell you something. All you gotta say is this: hey, we gotta stop being so lazy and we gotta handle business and do what we need to do. What's the name of the book again? Here, I'm about to show you right now. I'm talking to the chat room. That's the book. A Compensatory Counter-Racist Code by Neely Fuller Jr. And by the way, you can Google him. There are no pictures of his face. Period. He doesn't show his face. Very, very good book. Very, very good book. And there's another book too, because what they like to do to us is, and that's why I got this book, they a lot of, like, if y'all notice, you got the Robert Kraft thing, you got the R.KELLY thing and all that, and those are kind of distractions too. We gotta take it for what it is, and we gotta look at it like, damn, they about to send R.KELLY to jail for some shit he did 20 years ago. Like, damn, now people coming out, oh, this is a witch hunt on him. But we gotta understand this too. We have to understand that they don't want black people to be woke. They don't want black people to have knowledge of self, because when you have knowledge of self, you're going to know exactly what we are responsible for in this world and this civilization. That's why you need to read They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. A great fucking book to read. A great book to read. And if you, once you read that book, you're going to see. You're going to be like, oh, damn. All the things that we were responsible for and we did. And like I said, Christopher Columbus clown ass was writing diaries and telling the truth. On the diary, like he would write on the ships. Like the first time he went out to sea, he got lost. He didn't know where the fuck he was at. So he had to have the Moors navigate the fucking sea. See, that's where you get this black people don't like to swim and shit. See, that's a myth. See, black people ruled the water. Admiralty Maritime Law. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I read a little bit in this book about your social security number and how the laws they use in Admiralty Admiralty Maritime Law basically explains kind of like the law of the sea and how they took it and converted it to the law of the land. And then there's all these jurisdictions and I'll tell you this, the book fucked me up. Like, I had to put it down a couple of times, because like when you get a ticket and shit, you could put all rights reserved and then you don't adhere to their jurisdiction. Just go watch like a YouTube video on the Moors in court. Because the Moor Science Temple and the Moors, they, and the jurisprudence and the jurisdictions and how they do it is very intelligent, and how they become sovereign. And in this book, They Came Before Columbus, it doesn't talk about the sovereignty. It just talks about how the Moors ruled the sea and how we built the ships, and we were the architects behind the ships and all these things. It was, fuck, that book is crazy. I'm gonna read something from the chat room. Hold on, Johnny Brown. Wait, Jussie Smollett is on his way to jail too. He is not that big of a star though. He's like a war. Yeah, that's an eye opener. We were here first, damn it, right? We behold a pale horse. Yes. You know what? I got that book on my Amazon, not folder, but my Amazon checkout cart. I got that. Behold the Pale Horse. That's a great book. Very great book. Yes, your social security number can be purchased. And let's get into that real quick. And this is the little bit that I read. I'm gonna show that book again. I just keep forgetting. On your social security number, there is red writing on the back. And on that red writing, it's got different numbers, which says which Federal Reserve Bank your shit is sanctioned under. But everybody needs to know, every city and state has a social security building. But if you look on the back of that social security card, it all comes from Delaware. And if I got another book, it's called The Sovereign Citizen. This dude's from Vegas, and he wrote a book about that. And then I gotta get to reading it. I'm still reading all these other books, doing this podcast. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm gonna get it together. But from the knowledge that I've obtained, that if you look at your birth certificate, I'm talking about the original birth certificate, there are stamps of banks on it because you're debt. You've been born into debt, and that social security number is like your bank account. And that's exactly why they have it. And then it's linked to a different Federal Reserve across the country. So if it has different letters, it's crazy. And people think, oh, I got rights. No, you have privileges and amenities. You don't got rights. You better read the Constitution. See, that wording is so trickery. And that's what I was talking about, Shawnee Brown. Like, all those, vet me out on that. But the reason why the Social Security number, everything comes out of Delaware, because what I was reading too is, which is true, and then it's another dude named Kevin Behringer that put me onto it a long time ago. Like, he was on YouTube that I was watching, and he was like, man, go get y'all some books on that shit. I'm telling y'all you a slave, and woo whoop, and this is what's going on. So I started kind of researching that shit. I'm like, damn, this nigga ain't lying. So what I kind of saw was, it's true. In this book I read, it's called U.S. Title Swag or something. Basically, your Social Security is it's a straw man. You're a shell. It's like a shell company, and it's not even real. But you're a debt. You're like an account and a debt. It's weird, man. And all the rules and the banking, like all the shit, comes from Delaware, because the rules are skewed, like not the rules, but the corporate rules or some shit is skewed to where they can bend it. That's why the IRS is in Delaware. That's why everything is in Delaware, because United States of America is a corporation, and people don't believe that. That's why when you sue the United States, people think, oh, I'm gonna sue the government. No, clown, you have to sue the United States of America Incorporation. It's a shell company. It's a straw man. But people don't know that because they don't care until it affects them. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you this. It's a lot. And we gotta be on top of this shit, man. And we gotta understand it's a system within a system. Yeah, the taxation rules. Thank you, Shawnee Brown in the fucking chat room. And thank you. It's the taxation rules are a lot different in Delaware than they are in any other state in the United States, and they did that way on fucking purpose. People don't know the IRS is a corporation, but it's a shell company, and it's ran by the Federal Reserve. But people don't know that, and that's deep. We ain't gonna go that deep. I'm just telling you this. Behold the Pale Horse, great book to read. I've heard Professor Griff talk about that book. Okay, you do exactly. So if you know about the taxation laws and shit, Tamisha in the chat room, if you know about the taxation laws in Delaware, then you'll know. Just like I watched this documentary on Aaron Russo, and it's called Fascism of America. And he was basically talking about how we're not really supposed to pay federal income tax because there's a loophole in it that says it's only on earned income, and that's income that you get from stock. And that's what it's from. And he was like, well, this isn't earned income. This is involuntary servitude income, so you really can't tax me. And then they did a thing and started asking IRS agents, and they couldn't even answer it. But like Aaron Russo said, yeah, it's illegal to make, the U.S. citizens pay taxes, but if you don't pay taxes, you're going to get hurt. He was like, so it's the same shit. But we don't even see that. And we don't see that because I think we got to get that bag. We got to spend money. We got to have this. We got to have that. It's a fact, man. People get on a page and don't give a fuck about no niggas. Second of all, excuse me, those European clothing labels do not validate who you are. And this is a fact. And here's why it's a fact. IRS are bullies. Yes, they are. And here's why this is a fact. They don't validate who you are. Because while you are praising European clothing labels, they trying to be like you. It's like a housewife show, but they like all married to doctors. I don't know what the name of it is. I'm blanking on it. But they all married to doctors, and it's like in Atlanta. And they sisters. And I you know, it's a very entertaining show. But one thing I did not like is when they went to New Orleans. And when they went to New Orleans, one of the dumb ladies started bucking her. Voodoo? I's don't do no voodoo. I's a Christian. And see, this is where I got irritated. Because that Caucasian brother, that white dude was like, he was looking at her like, this dumb bitch don't get it. You created this. You created voodoo and voodoo. It's a religion. You created it. But they put it in child's play. They put it in movies and they demonize it and make it bad. Well, let me tell y'all this. Macandal and Le Toussaint L'Ouverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. What y'all think they did? They practiced voodoo. They practice voodoo so they can use that energy to kill those white motherfucking slave masters that was trying to inhabit and take over and colonize Haiti. That's why they made voodoo so bad. That's why they demonized it, ladies and gentlemen. Because that was used to kill all those fucking Frenchmen. But no, we think voodoo is bad. And voodoo. That's what pisses me off. Oh, I got a book on there on voodoo and Haitian voodoo, and it's a lady. She's a Caucasian from New Orleans. I forgot the name, and I'm gonna show I haven't even read it yet. And I said, see, they know who we are, using every single, trying to tap into every single thing that we created. Exactly. And they don't like Haiti because Jean-Jacques Dessalines told Napoleon, you kill 5,000 of my men, I kill 20,000 of your Frenchmen. You kill 20,000 of mine, I'll kill 40,000. And Jean-Jacques Dessalines is on record killing over 50,000 Frenchmen. And that's why they could not colonize Haiti. And that's why Haiti is the poorest country in the world. And that's why Haitian voodoo is bad. Now, let's just get into it. And I don't really like talking about religion too much. Let's just get into it. Since y'all listen, I want y'all to listen to me good. And those who know me, and people know me by now, isn't it so funny that voodoo is bad, but we can go to church and Jesus said, and victory is mine, and all this other shit. But that was taught to us by Caucasians. Facts. Because if it wasn't, there wouldn't be no Kurt Rambis, Pau Gasol looking individual with a perm press kit that we praying to. See, I used to go to Sunday school every day. I was at church all day, every day, 24 hours a motherfucking day. And every time I was studying my Sunday school lesson, I'd be like, why the fuck does everybody in here look like that? Like, what the fuck is going on? For real. Thank you. Reading tarot cards are bad. We came up with that too. That's from numerology and tarot cards. And when you look at numerology, I showed y'all that numerology book a long time ago. I'm still reading that shit. I've been real busy. But where do y'all think numerology and astrology and astronomy came from? That came from the Moors. I got too many books that say it came from us, from Caucasians. When you read numerology and they give Pythagoras this, oh, Pythagoras, he's our teacher. But Pythagoras got it, you know, when he studied in Egypt, in Africa, that he brought it back to Greece. Exactly. Exactly. It all comes from Africa. Don't y'all forget it. It all comes from this. And I don't care what nobody say. The ancient Egyptian book of the fucking dead. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And here's the thing about this book is that I like. It talks about the transmigrations of spirits. It talks about your ancestors. It talks about how they would, bury themselves with certain things because that's what they believe, that your spirit doesn't die. It just transforms and goes. But Dante's Book of the Dead is a great book. It's a great fucking book. Let me tell you something. This book right here, the Oxford Dictionary of English Etymology. You get this book, shit, you gonna be looking at motherfuckers like they fucking shot the sheriff. You know why? Because when you look up religion, it means to bind. It means to bind. And then you get in church and victory is mine, and Jesus said it, believe on me. That's scripture, I said it. And I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord and all this other shit, right? But then when you start asking, well, okay, who wrote this Bible? And how do we know this Bible was like Osiris, which they made shoes, skating shoes by a Caucasian company, Osiris, Nefertiti, not Nefertiti, but Osiris and Dionysus, and how they took all the different gods. And man, that story was told so many times. Matter of fact, the letter J didn't even exist 12,000 years ago. So how, if Jesus 2,000 years old, before them, predating them, when it's just the ancient Egyptians, which they got it from the ancient Cushites or Ethiopians or whatever, let's just say Africa. Okay, in Africa, before there was a Jesus, that story was told so many times. That's why it's hard for me to be like sitting in church and be like, it's just very difficult for me, because I think most religious people, they just read the Bible. They don't have any other type of context. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shawnee Brown. You already know. Tamisha, hey, I know. See, Tamisha know. Hey, you already know. Look. Let me tell you something, Shawnee Brown. There's certain people that know Warren grew up in church. So, Shawnee, certain people that'll watch this to be like, oh shit, Warren done changed like a motherfucker. Because for real, like I always used to be suspect about shit. Like I said, if you go to church and let's just say you go to church and you got a Sunday school lesson, look at the pictures in the Sunday school lesson. Now, you know the reason why I keep saying the pictures? The reason why I keep saying the pictures is because it is. That picture of so-called Jesus, who looks like Kurt Rambis and Pau Gasol together from the Lakers, that's Cesare Borgia. That's not Jesus Christ. And the lady that's supposed to be Mary is Lucrezia. That's not Jesus. So if that's not Jesus, then why the fuck is it in the books? That's because they gave it to us. And why they got you praying to some nigga that's Cesare Borgia, and if you don't want to, you can Google it right now. It's Cesare Borgia. You can say it, Cesare Borgia, and it's gonna say the person who's supposed to be looking like Jesus Christ. Okay, so since we see this, I'm not mad at Caucasians for making him white, but what irritates me about my black people is it's like, so y'all don't think that's a little odd that they done demonize voodoo and voodoo and demonize like tarot card readings and all this other shit, but every white person on the planet doing tarot card readings. Every person on the planet. I got a book from a white lady about Haitian voodoo. Are you fucking kidding me? But we in here, Jesus said it. Why they like, look at these dumbass niggas, and they reading the real shit. Look at the dollar. Why would the dollar have a white man on there, but the principles are backed by Africans? Because why is it a ancient pyramid on that dollar? With the all-seeing eye, the eye of Haru? Come on, man. Come on, we gotta understand and wake up. They're demonizing the shit that gives us power, that we draw power from. And then the shit that we don't draw power from, they give it to you. It's like food. Of course they gonna shove fast food. They gonna shove Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Jack in the Crack, McHale, Taco Hell, Burger Queen. They gonna shove all that shit down you. Guess why? Because it's gonna come right. You're gonna come right back to the system. Most likely, you're gonna be at a gastroenterologist from eating all that processed shit. Your stomach gonna be fucked up. It's gonna take you all day to go to the bathroom. And when you do go, it's gonna be like you peeing out of your asshole type shit. This is the shit that they give you for food. Like I read this book, How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says this: how could you trust that they are good people when the food that they give you puts you into an early grave? That's he ain't lying about that shit. Cause when I read that shit, I was like, oh shit. And to read How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which came out in the 70s, that book was wrote in the 70s, and then to watch What the Health, which just came out in 2017 and 2018, and this got the same principles, that lets you know, damn, he's not lying. But this is what I'm saying. They're eating the real shit and making the real shit expensive. Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Whole Foods. That's why Trader Joe's, Sprouts, Whole Foods, if you live in Las Vegas, they only in the nice areas. Ain't no Trader Joe's, no Sprouts, or no Whole Foods on the west side. It's buy low on the west side with stinky meat. It's a fact. Let me read something from the chat room. Right, but I've noticed that those closest to you eventually recognize that you have that power and try to take it from you. Still slavery-minded folks. That's a fact. That's why. Look, when a motherfucker try to invite, when a motherfucker divide and conquer, that's a fact. When a motherfucker try to invite me to somebody's church, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I just be like, no. And I don't like to disrespect nobody. And I don't. Because I think churches are probably good for people. And that's why religion was created. But if you read the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, their principles were totally different. They were believing in the transmigration of the spirit, that the spirit will move on. And then if you look at like Haitian voodoo, I think it was Dirty Bookman or Mackendall. One of them was like, you know, I'm gonna come back. That nigga was like, they tied him to a tree and was getting ready to slaughter him. They was like, what you got to say? He's like, that's okay. I'm gonna come back as a mosquito and I'm gonna kill all y'all. And then they got raided with a whole bunch of mosquitoes like a week later or a month later, some shit. It was some crazy shit. See, because that voodoo, they was using the earth and tapping into those that ancient principle of the earth and the powers of the math and the science that we created. See, they don't want us to tap into that. They got everybody thinking Pythagoras created geometry. How many times have I told y'all, read the book Stolen Legacy? It clearly states in that book that he was sneaking up. Matter of fact, they couldn't even practice those liberal arts in Europe. It was banned in Greece. And then they raided the fucking Library of Alexander and stole all that shit that our enlightened ancient Egyptians, you know, had wrote and was getting ready to teach people. And then, yes, they tapped into the nature. And then when they were getting ready to teach it, they raided the fucking Library of Alexander. They stole the shit. And Alexander the Greek, not the Great, but Alexander the Greek, he told Pythagoras and Aristotle and them, oh, y'all could just rename it y'all shit. And that's where we get the Pythagorean theorem. Facts. I'm telling you, man, they got you thinking your shit is bad and got everybody else knowing our shit is the good shit. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. But hey, man, I know, man, we went over, man. It was a good discussion. I got you. Hey, it's very important that you talk to the trees. That's what I learned in like science. Like you talk to the trees, you talk to the plants. I guess it's supposed to give it some type of stimulation. That's what I was reading a long time ago. But I tell you this, look, man, we got to be on code. Know that people like R. Kelly really don't deserve to go to prison at this point. Because they waited 30 years too late. They didn't suck all the money that they could make out of him. Now they sent him to prison. But Robert Kraft, we about to see what's about to happen to him. Please don't think that Robert Kraft about to go to prison. But R. Kelly is. And a lot of that's on us because we jumped on that bandwagon and did that shit. R. Kelly, you know, he just didn't let me eat. These bitches 40 years old talking about he wouldn't let me eat. I don't know what's going on. Man, get the fuck out of here, dude. You just a dumb bitch. But anyway, man, this is the No, I Don't Know podcast. Shout out to the chat room. I will see y'all Wednesday between 6:30 and 7:30. That's a fact. Hey, I want y'all to get y'all a little drink on, get y'all a little smoke on, get you some herb. Be careful when you go to these dispensary shops, because you don't know what when the government get their hands on some shit, it be all fucked up. Hey, I will see y'all Wednesday around 6:30 to 7:30, man. This is the No, I Don't Know podcast. Appreciate everybody listening and subscribe and hit the bell, hit the like button, and send this shit to any coon or Sambo you know. I'm Warren G. I'm out. Peace.